Today I have the pleasure of speaking with Mark Smith, and Mark Smith of Largo Resources. How are you today?
Very well. Thanks for having us here, Tracy.
The battery market is heating up. Everybody's talking about technology metals utilized for battery and battery storage, and of course vanadium is one of these. Can you talk to us about the vanadium market right now?
Well, in terms of the battery portion of the vanadium market, it's actually relatively small. Probably about 1% of the vanadium is used in that capacity right now. We do anticipate that's a growing area, but there's a lot of technology and cost issues that have to be figured out before that's really going to take off. But we're excited about it as a future use for vanadium.
And of course, I don't know if our audience is aware of this, but Largo Resources is now the #2 largest market cap in the world for technology metals, right after Molycorp. So congratulations, Mark.
Thanks, Tracy. There's a good team effort to make that happen.
And since you've come on board as a CEO here at Largo since March, you have been doing a lot of work, primarily with the financing. Can you tell us a little bit about this?
Yeah, there's two parts to the financing. One is the debt portion, and we were able to work with the banks, and my compliments to the banks. They were actually very cooperative in this process. They want Largo to succeed as well. And it's nice to sit down with a banker who wants you to succeed, and it's not just all about lining their pockets. These were really good people in Brazil that we sat down and worked with, and we worked out things on a very mutual, very respectful way. Once the debt portion of the refinancing was figured out, then we knew what we had to do for an equity raise. And we went out and did the equity raise, and again, the team effort that was put into this equity raise was nothing less than phenomenal, and I think the results really show what kind of a team we have at Largo.
And of course, you've raised $75 million?
75.2 to be precise, but yeah, it was 75.2 million Canadian. And again, very excited about that because of the confidence that the market has shown in Largo. They see what I see in Largo, and that's why I'm here.
Our global analyst, Christopher Ecclestone, of course, has applauded you on InvestorIntel into turning this into a dividend play for shareholders, and but he has also brought up the Arias Capital component of your financing and how they're going to have 2 board positions. Can you talk to us a little bit about this?
Yeah, actually they'll have 3 board positions, not 2, and that's still less than control on the board. But they will be, after this capital raise, which is closed now, they do own 46% of the company. So there's a good and a bad with that, obviously. We love having that level of support from Arias, and they've really shown with their money the confidence they have in this company and the team that's running this company, the resource, the metallurgy. They really believe in it. So that's good, but we do have a very, very high level shareholder, which can impact the liquidity of the stock and some other things. So we have to kind of balance all these variables together. But I think in today's financial markets, it's awful nice to have somebody that supports you like Arias Capital.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more. And I also want to draw our audience's attention to the fact that, we have received a number of emails asking, how can Mark be the CEO of 2 companies? Would you mind just drawing our audience's attention to the fact that you're not only doing it, but you're successfully doing it because your combined market cap of your 2 companies now is coming in close to $330 million.
Yeah, I hadn't calculated that number, but it's a matter of work capacity to me and passion for what you're doing. I am very passionate about NioCorp. I'm very passionate about Largo. I like to operate in a successful environment. I feel very strongly, very passionately that these 2 companies are poised for success. So I want to be associated with that. In terms of work capacity, I was running Chevron Mining as an example for a while. That had 5 operating mines and a development project. So this is, the combination of Largo and NioCorp is about 40% of what I was doing at Chevron Mining. And then you knew what I was doing at Molycorp while I was there for 5 years. And Molycorp was a worldwide entity, operations in 12 different countries and 2,500 employees. I would say that the combination of Largo and NioCorp is maybe about 10% of what it was to run Molycorp. So work capacity wise, I still have plenty left. And I plan to put an awful lot of effort into both of these companies to make sure we're successful.
Of course, speaking of 10%, Largo was up again 10% in May. And I want to talk to you about, so now that you've done this capital raise, what's next?
Well, I'll tell you, the big focus for us at Largo now is production. We have got to achieve those phase one levels of production. That's what we're focused on as a company. That's all we talk about in every meeting that we have. How do we get to those phase one production levels in the time frame we said we would? So we're going to do that. We're putting a lot of power, a lot of people, and a lot of resources behind that effort. I'm confident we're going to meet it. We have excellent metallurgy, we have excellent people, we have an outstanding resource out there, and it's just a matter of putting this all together and achieving those production rates that we know are possible out of that plant. So we're going to do it.
Well, Mark, I can't thank you enough for joining us today.
My pleasure, Tracy, as always. Thank you.